San.
And I'm Kat.
And welcome to Two Girls, One Bad Book, where we dive into the most talked about, tropiest, and totally unhinged books on Kindle Unlimited. There will be spoilers, there will be drama, so let's get into it. This week we read
Pounded by Produce, which is by far one of my favorites so far.
Yes, absolutely.
Think about if VeggieTales became human and sexy, that would be the entire point of the book. It's just...
Oh, absolutely.
Cucumbers, tomatoes, absolutely inappropriate things done in a church. Is it a church?
It's a parish. The whole
parish.
place is
It's a parish.
But before we get into it, I have a present for you.
What?
There's a Lululemon bag behind you if you want to grab it. For audio listeners, I have a present for Kat.
Thank you. Anything? Oh my God.
Not Lululemon.
No, but tomatoes. Perfect tomatoes. Very firm, very plump and firm. These are really good tomatoes. Now I'm concerned. And cucumbers.
Yeah. Also put a knife in there and some salt because we wanted to chomp on some of them while we're filming.
Honestly, when she's talking about getting cucumbers after the initial dream she has, I immediately was like, God, that sounds good, actually. I can totally go for that.
Cucumber.
These are so nice. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Here, I'm going to put
You can put it on the table.
Let's get
we'll make it not obscene so we don't get demonetized.
I want the other one.
Sure. Have both. We'll keep these here just for ambiance.
That's hilarious. I'm dying. That's funny.
Okay, so starting off in this book, I kind of knew what it was going to be about based on like the last book we read.
Yeah.
It kind of is fitting a theme, and plus like the cover art, it's a tomato and a cucumber on the front.
Oh yeah.
So I was ready for the cheesiness of like the last book. But she really she reached down, grabbed me by the throat, and brought me into this book so fast.
She has a really good way with words.
She does.
That was to take something so ridiculous. She did a really good job of actually making it a pretty decent story.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was a couple scenes there where I had to stop for a second. I was like, what is happening right now? And then go back and read. Yeah. So it was really good.
Our main character, Emily, she just got out of a bad relationship with an abusive ex, is what I kind of...
emotionally abusive and verbally abusive.
Abusive ex. And she's just she didn't have a job, I don't think, really. So she was basically just living for him. So she got out of that relationship and she moved into a trailer, her uncle's trailer. Yeah. Looking for a job, reading the job postings in the newspaper, which kind of made me question the era of this.
She even says no one looks, but she had no internet. She had no access to look any other way, and she said, who posts in newspapers anymore? But
and where was this? Was this in England? I feel like this has got to be
that part I don't know. They never really specify where it is, but it does sound like she has to travel pretty far to where the job is going to be.
So I'm curious if she's in America and then gets a job posting, because it sounds like where she is beautiful, Scotland.
That's the vibe I got from it, yeah.
And she had to fly all the way out there. I'm not quite sure.
They kind of gloss over that because after she reads the job posting, she calls up and immediately gets the job. And then it switches over to our main male characters, which is Robert and Laurent.
Is it Laurent?
It might be Laurent.
Laurent. I kept thinking
Robert and Laurent.
The guy from, what's it called? An Interview with the Vampire.
So good she didn't do that. Yeah, it's probably Laurent. Which, by the way, if you don't know, VeggieTales, the two main vegetables, the cucumber and the tomato, are Bob and Larry, which is Robert and Laurent. It took me a little bit to catch on to that.
Wait.
Because I had to go back and look. I was like, what were their names? But yeah, it's Bob and Larry, which is short for Robert and...
That went straight over my head.
Yeah. I looked to make sure Emily wasn't a vegetable at any point, but no, she's just a random human, so she's fine. But it switches over to them. They had just lost their cook at their parish because he found love in another country and decided to leave, which is how she gets this job. And there's a lot of sexual tension between Robert and Laurent.
And Bob and Larry.
Bob and Larry. There's a lot of sexual tension between them. But she does end up going there. They meet another woman, Gail.
Gail, yeah, she's the...
I also had to double check to make sure she wasn't a vegetable in VeggieTales. She's not, sadly, unfortunately. But she ends up... How does it go? What happens right after that? After she gets there, she's like obviously so uncomfortable because these are the hottest priests she's ever seen, which I can imagine.
Yeah. Well, the way that they describe each other, like, because this book switches perspective. It's like Emily, Laurent, and then Robert. And you hear Robert describe Laurent and Laurent describe Robert as like the most beautiful men they've ever seen.
Yes.
And then Emily comes in and is like, these are not priests.
Yeah, there's
these are
something wrong
gods.
here. Laurent is described as essentially like a god, like an angel came down. He's got blonde hair, chiseled, jawline, super ripped. Like both of them are super ripped for some reason, which I want to know, what are they doing other than priestly duties that's causing them to be so buff and ripped? And
I was curious about that too, because I was like, maybe they work out, but when do they find time to work out?
they never work out in the entire book, so I don't know. Are they just naturally gifted, muscular men?
I don't know how self-aware she was about it. Because every time she had Emily's thoughts, she'd be like, oh, this isn't one of those corny romance
Yeah, I know.
novels.
She's like, what kind of place is this? And what was it they said? Oh, one of the first lines between, not first lines, but in the beginning of the book, Robert and Laurent are talking about making dinner because their cook isn't there yet. And he says, maybe if we pray hard enough, our vegetables will become sentient and cook themselves.
Yep.
Which is great foreshadowing if you didn't already
perfect.
know what was going to happen. So yeah, Emily's having all of these like totally inappropriate thoughts. She doesn't talk Catholic, so she doesn't know what she's supposed to say or do. She's like, I hope they don't figure out I'm not practicing. I don't know anything about Catholicism, which made me feel better because I also don't.
Yeah.
But it jumps from that to her first dream that you don't realize is a dream. I was so confused. I was like, whoa, this went from 0 to 1,000 overnight, just instantly. I was so confused because it made it, there was no break. It was perfectly like she was talking to them, she went to the kitchen, and the next thing she's in the pews praying to gods, like a god she doesn't believe in.
Yeah, the author really put her foot in that one.
I mean, man, I was stunned. And then, because I was like, wait a minute, this is like, okay, this is hot. What happened? They were so against it at first, and all of a sudden they're all on board with like fooling around with her until she reaches behind her and there's a cucumber in her hand and not him. And she's like, oh, it felt so good. Like, what? I don't think I've ever felt a cucumber. I'm like, way better. Way better.
You know, honestly, as I was going to the store purchasing this cucumber and this tomato, my first thought was like, I have to buy more shit because people are going to think I'm weird.
If you just know.
Well, because I just read this book, so now I look at it and my brain's my brain's in a different place. So I bought a bunch of other shit to put in my basket so I didn't look like a weirdo buying 2 cucumbers and 2.
Yeah, I'm just glad none of Robert's anything turned into tomatoes while she was touching them, because that would have been far.
Yeah.
But she wakes up not long after and she's like so confused by, like she's so, this is not appropriate, I can't even imagine. But she like keeps thinking about it too, which is so funny. I would think about it not in like a, that was hot, and be like, oh my God,
what the fuck?
What happened that caused me to think that? I like look up my dreams, be like, how do you even look that up? And then what happens right after that?
Well, it goes back to like Robert and Laurent. And they're like hosting their first sermon that we see in the book. And apparently all of their congregation is made up of older widowed women that think they're hot. I just want to totally bang
go those ladies. I would, that'd be me. Absolutely. I would keep going if that's what they looked like. Hell yeah. And they are obsessed with them. Yeah. And Laurent's watching Robert give his sermon, and he's just
talking about his lips.
He's so obsessed with this man.
I think it's like his first inner monologue you hear of him talking about their experience in college. Right?
Yeah,
Is that
I think
point?
that's pretty quick into the beginning of the book.
Yeah, they experimented in college.
I don't know if you would call it experimented. They touched themselves in the same room while looking at each other. I guess that's kind of experimenting.
experimenting. Because, I mean, it's like, they technically didn't do anything wrong, I guess?
They kind of did. Which they, like, keep kind of pushing that boundary a lot. But they're very clearly in love with each other, but Robert is the holdout. He's too... God is his everything, and he can't think about anything but that. Well...
It's very brooding and dark.
Yeah.
And that's, at this point, too, this is also where they meet is she a witch? The old witch lady? I'm assuming because she has a boil on her nose.
That's what I kept thinking, too, is, like, she was a witch. They described her perfectly as, like, an old, like, crazy-looking witch. Big boil on her nose, like, kind of gross-looking face, dark, cloak covering. And she tells them, I should have saved that line.
Yeah, she basically says, like, you're hiding who you are, and the only way to escape this is to act upon your...
Fruits of your love or labor?
Yeah, something like that.
I wish I would have saved that line. It sounds...
Very cryptic.
They're very like, okay, this is a crazy old lady, so okay, get out. Bye. Have a good day. And they don't really think much of it again. But they're both kind of like really obsessed with Emily really fast.
Oh, yeah.
She's everything. Like the sun, like perfect.
Talking about her breasts.
Yeah,
her
they're
skin and her hair.
obsessed with her. They don't know what to do because they're not supposed to think those thoughts. Well, Laurent doesn't care. Robert's freaking out. And then he's even struggling to be around her, both of them. And so he's sitting outside at nighttime. He decides to grab the communion wine and get...
We tried sleeping first, but then he started thinking about Emily.
Yeah, and he couldn't do it. So he gets himself shit-faced on communion wine, which I think is a higher percentage than normal wine. And, he's calling out to God of, is this a test kind of thing? Which that's like one of the only parts. I get the whole point of the book, but that's one of the only parts where I was like, okay.
We get it. You're a priest.
Yeah. We get it. You love God. You can't think about anybody sexually, which I can't imagine that's ever even possible unless you're asexual. But he's sitting out there and talking to God, and I want to just call him Larry because his name is so hard to say. Larry is yelling out to him like, you're going to do whatever Larry says, which is when he realizes that it's not God talking to him and he's being fucked with. And then they sit out there and they're having like a moment where they're like laying out there. I think touching hands was before. They're like really close to, it's in that realm of like first meeting someone you have a crush on. Yeah, butterflies. They're like sitting kind of close to each other.
Talking about the way that their biceps show off when they move their muscles and their veins in their arms.
It's kind of cute, I'm not going to lie. It's really adorable the way that they both describe each other. And they fall asleep and wake up completely unable to move, staring straight ahead. This is the part where my brain's like, okay, well, I don't understand the eye perspective. Because they can see, but they can't move. And all of a sudden, a giant hand comes to grab them, and they're like, oh my God, it's God. But it's just Emily.
Well, Robert thinks it's for his sins, because thinking about Laurent, he's like, oh, this is
this is the end.
God has punished me.
Yeah, I've done it. I can't imagine that perspective, because I think it's Laurent at first, realizing
I think
that everything is really big all of a sudden, and it looks kind of strange.
It's from his perspective first.
Yeah. And he's like, how much wine? Like, what was in the wine?
Also, I was like, where are their eyes? Like, are they?
I know, because it's like
are they all knowing?
That's what that has to be, because they can see like everywhere. Because he can also see her, but he can also see the tomato, which is Robert. Which, what an unfortunate one to be. I kind of feel bad for him.
Me too. The whole time I was like, damn, he got the short end of that stick.
I was really concerned what she was going to do with him.
Yeah, same.
Because, what an unfortunate one. Because he really just did not get the good end of that stick. And it would have been nice if they had switched.
Yeah.
Like,
been able to be like, whatever.
Or go a couple of times, yeah.
But she immediately, like, as she picks both of them up, she starts feeling weird about them and kept looking at them, like side-eyeing them as she put them on the table while she's cutting other vegetables. And so I think she could pick up on their energy.
Yeah.
That they
She's
were
like, wow,
these
these are
trees.
really hot vegetables.
Yeah. She was like sweating and then decided just to be like, okay, I gotta take care of this.
Yeah.
Grabbed the tomato and the cucumber and went to her room, locked herself in. And then proceeded to, she thought about it for a while though. She's like, no, you're crazy.
She just kind of had him sitting there for a minute and then eventually was like, screw it. I'm just going to go for it. Which both of the men are completely sentient. They know what's happening to them and they can't do anything. Yeah, they can't do anything. They're just like, please. I think the location of both of them was a choice.
Yeah.
She dove.
She said mounds, and that confused me at first.
Mounds?
Yeah, she said mounds. That means breasts, I believe.
It could mean both. Mound or mounds. It could mean both. But yeah, the rubbing on, I don't understand what... I mean, I think she was just really needed to get laid. Because, she took that really far.
Yeah, she did. But
and then...
both of them thought they also died whenever they released.
Oh, yeah. That was that was gross. I'm not going to lie. The yeast infection. I'm glad she mentioned it. She mentioned, like, I'm going to have to...
A cucumber? Or is it the tomato that...
It was both of them. And the cucumber was in her. Mm-hmm. That is a yeast infection waiting to happen. And I'm glad she even commented on it. She's like, I'm going to have to go find a doctor. Or go to the store to get something for this. Because there's no way. Mm-hmm. And she's just like, what I was trying to think of the word she used. They essentially, like, weren't crushed, but, like, all of a sudden they were leaking. What? Ew.
Yeah. There's one thing that which a lot of these, like, really fast smut romance books do, is they don't give a lot of detail between scene 1 and scene 2. Because this whole thing happened, and then they just woke up the next day, all naked in the bed.
I don't even know if it was the next day. It was, like, a nap.
Oh.
But it was, like, a long nap. I think it was, like, it started at, like, 10 a.m., and then they wake up at, like, 4. But, yeah, the time between is very hard to tell. Uh-huh. It feels like this happened in a day.
Yeah,
like a day and a half before it happened,
because Gail was gone. Apparently, Gail had left town, and she was gone for a week. So...
yeah, so this is an entire...
but she came home early, which is further down. But... did she?
I think she was gone for 2 weeks, but came back early.
Okay.
So it's not very long.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, this had to have been within, like, she gets there, the sermon happens, he goes out to sit at night, the next day starts, and then this happens, which is...
to be that freaky at 10 a.m. is a choice.
I think it was 10 a.m. Like, it had to be early, because they woke up like that. But they end up waking up, it's like 4 o'clock the next day, and they're all, like... the men are clothed, which was interesting.
But she's naked, right?
I think she has, like, her clothes, like, pulled up. And the awkwardness I felt through the pages. They were just like, And he's like, I had the weirdest dream. Which, if I woke up in the spot that I was left as a cucumber, I would think, I don't know. I don't think that was a dream.
Yeah.
But also, who's going to believe, like, I was a cucumber that essentially had sex as a cucumber? Yeah, Robert is like, I'm out of here. I don't know what that was.
He bounces fast.
Yeah, he's
very
what's the word for it? He wants it so bad, but won't let him have anything like that. And so he's very flip-floppy. And I just want one of them to strangle him a little bit and just knock some sense into him. Because he's
insufferable.
Oh my God, yes.
But Laurent, he's just a good time guy. Like, he's just there for whatever. When he was a cucumber, he was like, this is how I die.
He's like, this is fine. He's like, honestly, if this is how I go, then that's the way I go. I'm okay with that. Yeah, he's like, they explain it in the beginning that he comes from a really rich family and was, like, missing something. Why, of all the places to choose to find yourself, would you go to, what is it, missionary school? No.
I think...
go to preschool?
Yes,
I don't remember what the name of it is. But why of all of those would you go there? I understand why he stayed, because he was totally in love with Robert.
He told Emily that he was looking for something in life. Because remember, she came and they had the conversation. Oh, we skipped over that part. They had a really heated conversation in the middle of the night when she went
Oh,
up to
yeah.
go eat
Okay, so it's been 2 days.
Yeah, so she woke up, before this happened, she woke up and went to go get a snack from the kitchen, which she wanted a cucumber, by the way. And Laurent was just sitting there in the dark eating cereal. And they had this, like, weird sexual tension between them. And
Yeah.
That's when he was like, that's the reason I'm here, because she was very unsure of her position because she wasn't Catholic.
Yeah,
She was
he's like, I
scared.
also was looking for something, which
Yeah.
is how I got here. But it just seems like such an odd choice, especially because you can tell he doesn't really believe.
Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering if it's not in, like, an American country. It's more of, like, a European
I
old-
definitely don't
old
think
country.
I don't think it's America. I'm pretty positive it's like in the middle of nowhere, like Scotland or.
Because I don't think we have, like, parish nunneries and stuff like that.
No, I
around
don't
here.
think so.
If we do, they're very, like, few from.
And far between.
Yeah. But this is also a work of fiction, so who knows? Could be in it, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. Another world. Yeah, their conversation was really cute. Because he's so normal.
Yeah.
And she, like, cusses in front of him, and she's like, like, freaking out. And he's like, don't even worry about it. Like, they cuss up a storm. They say, like, the most inappropriate stuff, which makes them a lot more relatable.
Yeah. Makes you feel more human.
But-
Not so scared.
I just don't understand why other than Robert, I can't see why he would have gone there.
I think he just was doing it to find himself and then found Robert. And
Yeah, I
didn't
think
wanna
that's why.
leave.
Because that's the only reason he stayed.
Yeah. And they're both the priests at this parish too. Like they started like taking turns, and then the people just like loved them so much that they just started doing like a double sermon thing. Like one would do 1 week, one would do the other. But I really enjoyed like the perspectives, because like hearing things from Emily kind of breaks up that like messed up moral code that both of them kind of have. It frustrates you. You're like, oh my gosh, like just say what you feel.
Yeah. Because she's even like, because she realizes she's trying to figure out where she is. I think this was the dream sequence. But she's like, you know, like, I'll even become a nun. And then she's like, actually, no, I won't do that. Like, the whole friendship thing's really cool, but like, I really like men, and I'm not going to give that up.
Yeah,
which is like so real.
I think she said, I'm okay with this. I wouldn't do it because I just need a little bit of dick.
Yeah, she's like, on second thought, I don't really want to be a nun. Don't get me wrong. The outfits are sick, and I'm totally down for the eternal female friendship bit, but I just need a little dick every now and then. You understand, right?
And that's whenever they come in this previous dream sequence, and that's insane.
Which honestly, yeah, I get her whole perspective there. Like, you know, the outfits are cool, and the women would be, friendship would be great, but no.
Oh no, I'm still trying to work out my Kindle, and I don't know.
Hit the book.
I'm trying to like get the drop down menu that's not the full Kindle drop down menu.
Click. Yeah, there you go.
Got it. Okay. So we were talking about, okay, this is the night after they had all spent the night together, and they're all like kind of trying to piece the puzzle together. And she was like, I had a weird dream about cucumbers. He's like, well, I was a cucumber. He's like, well, I was a tomato. And they all started talking about it, and then slowly started realizing it wasn't a dream. And then Robert's like, that can never happen again. And then the storm's off. I think Laurent just like goes after him just to be like,
always. He's constantly chasing that man. Yeah, he even says, if my punishment from God for my thoughts is ending up in a ketchupy mess across Emily's walls, I'm okay with that. That's so gross. The way she describes some of it is so unappealingly, just ketchupy mess. Like, oh, come on.
This is the first time, right?
Yeah, that's the first time.
After that, gosh, this book is, there's a lot of romance books that are slow burns. This one is not a slow burn. She hits you right off the bat with the craziest shit you've ever heard. And then it never calms down. It's just right, like back to back, the craziest things you've ever heard. And before they turned into cucumber and a tomato, it was a really good, almost like grounded romance where it almost felt kind of real and like self-aware. And then as soon as they turned into a cucumber and a tomato, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, they had like this cute forbidden romance between the two of them. And then it's just like off the wall. Like, what is happening?
The vibe switched up real fast. But they had this like, little quarrel, never happened again. And then the second time it happened, she had like made them dinner that same night.
I think so. She's mad because they're like all ignoring each other, and she's like, I can't do this anymore. We have to talk about it. And so she makes them dinner, and they like come out there, and they're like discussing what they're gonna do. And I think Robert's like, if we're produce, it's not a sin.
Yeah.
So like go for it if we're produce. Yeah. And they immediately turn into vegetables again.
Just they drop to the floor, and then she's just like, oh well.
Yeah. I got permission.
Then the second time after this happens, after they've all been together as produce, that's when they all wake up naked together. This second time, right?
I don't think they're ever naked together.
No? The men have clothes on?
I'm pretty positive every single time, because it's whenever they turn, they come back as what they were wearing before.
I know that this time she was.
She was definitely naked.
Because Robert then like shielded his eyes because it was his perspective, and
he like turns away from her to give her privacy and respect, which is a wild thing to do when she's just rubbed your tomato body all over herself.
Oh my God, this book.
But yeah, I love his logic. If vegetables can't sin.
They're not priests. Vegetables can't be priests.
Yeah, so if we're vegetables, it's fair game. And like at one point, I don't remember which one of them is like, maybe this is a blessing from God so that we can get out these urges without sinning, which is a big leap. Big leap. Honestly, if it works, though, it works. But Robert he is so...
He flip-flops.
Constantly. He makes me so irritated because he has like the perfect loves in front of him, and he just is so blind to it. And it's irritating.
It is. It's super irritating. And after the second time, that's when Robert was like, all right, we're done.
Yeah.
Because him and Laurent, like, were almost in a quarrel about this, and he stole a kiss. Laurent kissed Robert. Robert was pissed. Like, he was okay at first, then he got pissed. And he angrily stormed off and wrote Emily a letter and was like, we can never do this again, slipped it under her door.
Signed both of their names.
Signed Laurent and Robert. And you later find out that Laurent had no idea about this letter because she's off like gallivanting, pissed off at these two men that are playing with her emotion.
But she keeps avoiding that particular side of the garden, which is where the cucumbers and tomatoes are, which I think that's so funny. But her finding Laurent, he's in the middle of the forest playing guitar, and he's singing
about water buffaloes.
About water buffaloes. That was when it clicked in my head how much of that could have possibly been connected to VeggieTales. Like, I knew it was, but like I didn't know. That is a song. Yeah. And she just slightly changed the words, and he called it, like Silly Songs with Laurent. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God. So I ended up looking it up after that, and I was cracking up. We forgot something important. In between the second time, like right after the second time, the bishop shows up.
Oh, yes, Archbishop.
And it happens to be where they're just both so flustered, and their sermon is terrible. And the bishop is kind of doing those, like, you guys need to take a break, like, kind of going in on them. You can tell
that there's something going on.
But there is a part right before that Laurent looks at Robert and says, hopefully he doesn't turn into an asparagus. Also from VeggieTales. That was so perfectly placed. Because there is, like, essentially
the best, right?
He has the little glass thing, like a monocle.
Oh yes, yeah.
Perfectly placed. I mean, that was just cherry. I was like, oh my God, and I had to go look it up, and that was so perfectly placed. That's right when the kiss happens, because he's like, Robert's getting mad at him of just like, what was that? Your sermon sucked, kind of thing, and that's when he kisses him, and that was a hot kiss. That was a very hot kiss. Like, that was two people who've been fighting it for a long time type of kiss.
And I will tell you, this author, they are so good about, like, nothing felt icky. I mean, there's a few words that, like, I would prefer not to happen. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the C word. That's just because it takes me out of, like, the like, romance of it, because it's very harsh. But everything else, she's really good about describing the sequence of events that take place in a very thoughtful way that makes you, like, want to keep reading without, like, wanting to, like, look away too much.
Like, you're sucked in. Like, when you get to this point, especially, it was that first dream. That sucked me in so, because I was like, whoa, what is happening? There was no build up. It was just right there.
And she really, like, had that slow burn with Laurent and Robert so well that at this moment, like, you knew it was going to happen, but it almost shocked you because Robert had been so opposed to it.
Yeah.
Before, even, like, Emily was, like, kind of like that way in between them two. But this felt very intimate, and, like, it almost, like, broke my heart a little bit for Laurent because Robert rejected him.
He just wanted to be loved. He's a golden retriever.
Yeah.
Totally golden retriever boy. And I don't understand. I get it. I think it was a combination of Robert is struggling with his faith and the fact that he's bisexual.
Yes, for sure.
That is how it read, which is that it's not just that he is a priest and is not supposed to be doing this stuff. It's that he likes men, and especially this man. And that would mess you up, especially because he didn't grow up in the church either, or the parish. He didn't grow up in Catholicism either. At least it didn't sound like it. He kind of joined after a really bad upbringing. But I do love the line that Robert says. They're talking about something, and he says, "All it takes, we turned into fucking produce, and we were fucked by our cook, and some supernatural sexual charge washed over us. This isn't a minor incident." It's perfect. Just wow.
Back to water buffaloes.
I have it.
Okay.
So everybody wants a water buffalo. Yours is mean. Mine is a kind fellow. Oh, where would you find one? I don't know, but everybody wants a water buffalo. It's just slightly changed enough to not get in trouble. It's perfect. But yeah, that's when they sleep together? Not in vegetable form?
Yeah, she is talking to him after he plays this beautiful song for her. And Laurent's being very flirty. And then she reveals to Laurent that Robert wrote the letter, and Laurent had no idea about this letter. And he basically was like, "Oh, I didn't consent to that." And being very flirty, touching her. And the next thing you know, like, she's on the ground, on the floor.
Yeah.
And he's on top of her, taking her clothes off.
Which, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I think it was partially him getting back at Robert, though.
Oh, for sure.
He's like, you know what? I'm going to do what I want.
Because he was mad. He was pissed.
Yeah.
He was mad at Robert for that, because I think Laurent was very much enjoying their escapade of all the produce and Emily and everything.
I mean, he got the better end of the deal.
He did.
He got a way better end of the deal than the tomato.
I think she also compared him in real life to his cucumber counterpart. Whenever they...
That was... Yeah. And he even said, like, I think it was one of them said, like, they were glad they used the cucumber first. She was prepared. Jesus Christ. Also, she had no, like, preparation with the cucumber. She just went right for it. Which is... Ow. Ew.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, you think... Logically, thinking about it, cucumbers aren't as... There's not a lot of resistance.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But, I mean, still, a little prep work would have gone a long way. Though she didn't need it.
So, anyways, Laurent, Emily sleep together. It was very, like, sweet, because after, everything had happened, they, like, stayed, like cuddled for a minute. Like, they kind of didn't want to, I think, leave each other. And then this is another thing where it jumps again. Like, they're on the floor, and then the next scene, she's like, "Oh my God, I have to cook dinner. Like, yeah. I've wasted 4 hours." And then she's in the kitchen cooking the roast, correct?
I think so.
Okay. Now she's cooking the roast, and after the stuff had happened with Laurent, she's like, we actually have to talk about it this time, not turn into vegetables. So she cooks this roast that she's hoping will, like, entice them to come out of their rooms, because they've locked themselves in their rooms since.
Yeah, they, like, multiple days are just like, not even multiple, okay, probably like hours, but they're all avoiding each other now at this point.
Yeah.
Just all of them.
And so Laurent comes out, he sits down, what do you say, "Do you think Daddy's going to join us?" Is that what he said?
I think she hooked up with Robert before that.
No, it was Laurent first, I promise.
No. Laurent, and then I think it skips to her.
Oh, yes.
In the confessional. But also Laurent is in the confessional before that.
No, so this is what happens. So after Laurent and it was either before her and Laurent hooked up or afterwards. The book jumps around a lot, but she shared a kiss with Robert, and then he like pushed her away, and that's when I think he wrote the letter, because I think that they shared it just a kiss though.
And Laurent and Robert were in the confessional together.
Yes, Laurent and Robert were together, confessing their sins to each other.
Yeah.
And then they started like fooling around, and then Robert was pissed after that as well.
I'm gonna have to make a timeline next time.
There,
This is so hard to follow because
it's back and forth. It's Emily, Laurent, Robert, Laurent, Emily. It's kind of in a structured timeline, but also not, because you're getting bits and pieces from
each of them.
Each of them. But regardless, like they've all had their little almost moments, and then Robert and Laurent have had their moments, and Emily and Laurent have had their
then
moment.
you're right.
And there was a time where Emily and Robert had they shared a kiss. Like it was very small.
Yeah.
But he was like, "Get off me," basically.
Yeah, he's really good at pushing people away.
So everyone has tried to kiss Robert, and Robert has denied it for the most part.
He's enjoyed it and then freaked out.
But this next scene, whenever Laurent and Emily are sitting together, and then they were like, is Daddy Robert basically going to join us? And at that moment, you hear his door like open or something.
and like
he comes
flings
sits
in.
down. And that's when Emily, I guess, as everyone's silently slurping their stew, she's like, "We have to talk. Like, what is going on? Like, y'all are confusing me." She's very emotional and upset at this point.
Yeah.
And I think Robert then was like putting ground rules down, like this can never happen again.
Yeah.
And then that's when I think Laurent was pissed off at Robert and was like, "Did Emily tell you
Yeah.
that we slept together?" And that pissed off
Robert, like, don't they immediately change right after that? Again? I don't remember.
No.
They
It was
never
only twice.
Oh, okay.
It was only
Yeah.
twice. No. But they had she had kind of put it together in her own head that they were all trying to figure out previously why they were turning into vegetables, like what caused this to happen. And since her and Laurent had slept together, he didn't turn into a vegetable. And so they were like, "Oh, it's when all three of us are together."
Yeah.
So when all three of them are together this time, they're like expecting, I think, to turn into vegetables. But Laurent basically attacks Robert, talking about how he had slept with Emily, and Robert gets defensive because it wasn't all three of them, but he's trying to play it off like, you shouldn't be doing that, you're a priest.
Yeah.
And that's when Laurent is like, "Well, me and Emily will run away together, without you." And he's like, "Is that what you want?
Do you want us to go together?"
Robert's like, "Yeah," basically. And then it escalates from there quite a bit. That's whenever Laurent starts feeling up Emily while Robert's...
So we're definitely missing a scene in between there.
What happened?
When she goes into the confessional at middle of the night, and nobody's
right.
around.
Okay.
Because, I was going to say,
That
they
did
definitely did something before that. So they're in the confession, or she goes in the confessional in the middle of the night because she can't sleep. She's like, "Those guys are definitely asleep. Like, I'll be quiet," and leaves out of there. She goes in the confessional and is like doing her things she's seen on TV. She's like, "I've never said this before," and is like, she said like, "I need you to tell me what to do," and then Robert is inside the other side of the confessional,
yes,
and tells her to get on her knees.
Yes, this is like pitch black, middle of the night. He's still full priested out. This happens right after Laurent and Emily slept together at night. Like this is
the night of them doing that.
So it's like back to back.
Yeah.
I did forget about.
Because I was gonna say they definitely both fooled around with her.
Yes.
And that's why he gets so like defensive and upset about it. But he did the same. It was dumb. So he ends up doing his domineering thing because he has to be in control. And again, freaking out after.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, he runs away like a little girl.
Yeah, and she's like, "Okay, well, that's great. Now we all need to talk again."
That's okay. Yes, and that's the dinner. Whenever he comes out, whenever they're waiting on him, and he is not in his priest attire, which is weird for him because he's always like very put together and like the authority figure. He's like in like gray sweatpants and like a t-shirt, and his hair is all messy. And she's like, he looks wounded, like a hurt puppy, because he's embarrassed
and losing all grip of his reality of what he thinks he's supposed to be like. But right after, then they have that freak out, realize none of them are turning, and Laurent starts messing with her, and he's like, "Well, you're gonna walk away now?"
Yeah.
He egged him into that, which honestly, good. I mean, that was a good move.
I didn't know how Robert was going to react, but I think he needed like that push.
Yeah.
Like, that was definitely something. But after Laurent starts like basically feeling up Emily and then like pushes her over the table, you think Robert's going to leave.
I really thought he would.
Me too.
Yeah, I was really expecting him to be like, throw his little hissy fit and walk away. But no, he gets in. He doesn't get in on the action, but he definitely is a voyeur.
He's
for sure. He was watching. He was invested.
He was participating.
Yeah, he was participating in his solo way.
So basically, Laurent is still antagonizing Robert while he is basically screwing Emily. And he's talking to Robert, and Robert's just sitting there, like, letting all this happen. And it gets like, the scene builds up, and you're like so invested. Can't wait to see what happens.
And Gail walks in. That was such a I can't imagine the immediate like they all felt.
Well, she screamed.
Yeah, oh my god. There was so many emotions going through you at that moment.
I was so embarrassed, like, for them. Like, I felt it in my soul whenever I heard the scream, and she's like, it was Gail. I was like, oh my god, and I almost threw my Kindle across the room.
I feel like she planned that, though, because I feel like she would have heard them before she got into. She's like, you know what? I'm just going to see what's happening in here.
If I heard people in the other room being intimate, I'd be like, none of my business. I'm just going to walk away.
She definitely went in there. But yeah, it immediately jumps to Robert had talked to Gail, and they're going to resign from their positions.
But that was Robert's idea.
I know.
Because Gail was like, I have to leave, and he was like, no, I'm going to resign. I'm going to call the Archbishop and tell him what happened. I would have been like, you saw nothing.
Yeah. Like, maybe we can just not say anything.
Because she's not a nun, right?
No, she's not. And she's totally cool. She's a normal person. Like, that's like when she meets Emily, she's like, you don't have to do, like, we're different here. You don't have to do anything. I don't think she would have said anything.
Me neither.
I think she would have just ignored it after the initial shock went down.
That shows Robert's character and his guilt. Because as soon as, like, that happens, you hear Robert's inner monologue, and he's, like, talking about how he's going to go be a monk and give up. Like, that's what his thoughts are. Immediately after all this happens. He's dramatic.
He is. He's like a little boy, like a little teenage boy that, like, doesn't want to admit his feelings for a girl, and so he's throwing little hissy fits and like, I'm going to become a monk, and you two should run off together, and you'll be happy without me, and, you know, I deserve to be celibate for, oh my god.
But Emily and Laurent, whenever you read their chapters, they're both talking about how they want to be with Emily, they want to run away, but both Emily and Laurent are understanding there's always going to be a piece missing.
They'll never be happy without him.
Robert is the piece because Laurent is so in love with Robert. Emily knows that, and Laurent knows that, and they can't be without him. Yeah. He's just a piece of the puzzle.
Before the kitchen incident, she does meet the witch when she's out at night. And the witch tells her that you guys are destined to be together, and it's just about you guys finding your path. And she's like, well, are they going to keep turning into vegetables? Like, what if Robert leaves, you know? Is he going to be a vegetable again? And she said, if you guys walk away, then it's over. Yeah. Which, what a weird momentary curse.
I thought that happened.
It might happen after. But she does talk to the witch, which is... And she's like... She's not technically a witch. She's like a spokesperson for the gods. Yeah. Did you notice how it switches? They switch from saying God to gods towards that end of the book.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, they keep switching. Like, it starts off, like, obviously, like, very Catholic. There's one God. And then as they're losing their grip with their faith, it switches over to gods. Especially after she sees the witch. And then she like tells them what's going on. You can see the switch over to gods. It's very interesting that she did that. Cause like
I didn't even pay attention to that part.
Yeah, because I was like, wait a minute, why are you saying gods all of a sudden? But yeah, like they switch over to gods, which
I remember now.
What?
The thing between Robert and Emily. It was because she lost her hat. I think it was the same day up in a tree, and then he climbs a tree for her. And then that's when he jumps down. They have like a moment.
Yeah. And that's when he learns that she had just got out of an abusive relationship. Yeah. Then he's like, we've been taking advantage of you.
Yeah. Of course, jumps to conclusions. That was one of my favorite scenes, though, because it, like all things, he said spider monkey.
Did he? Oh my God.
He said, no, she said,
oh, what, are you a spider monkey?
He said it. No, he said it. He's like, holy shit, are you a spider monkey?
Oh my God.
And my brain was like Twilight. Everything.
See, I'm so stuck on VeggieTales. You got all the Twilight
I was thinking about
going.
Twilight references.
That's funny.
Laurent and Spider Monkey, that's all I thought
That
about.
was perfect. There is one line that she tells Robert that I think is probably the best line. She says, Robert, you were a tomato I rubbed myself with. Be so fucking for real right now. It was one of his like tantrums, and she says that, and he's just like aghast.
Sorry, my cat is messing with something back there.
She's having a rug moment.
I think she has a straw. She loves straws. She's.
But yeah, they're just. It sucks because I like Robert, but he is so irritating.
I know.
But I also understand his like inner turmoil because that would really mess you up. Like that is what he felt like he only had was God, and then it's just, and then it gets, essentially ripped from him. And after they meet with the bishop, Laurent's trying to tell him like, you don't have to become a monk.
Yeah.
What a weird over-exaggeration or like overreaction to this. And he's trying to convince him like we can be together. Like this is an opportunity for us to finally.
And they're not priests anymore at this point.
Yeah, they're not priests, they're men. And like the bishop is like very clear about the men part of it.
Yeah, because he didn't say brother or father.
No.
He said you
two
men are aspiring men or something like that.
Which is.
But I think that was the right words. I think they needed to hear that.
I think Robert needed to hear that. Laurent didn't give a shit. He was ready to be done probably when they started.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of what was it that woke him up.
Wait, hold on. Are you talking about when they're still in the office after Archbishop left and they finally let loose?
Yeah, but it isn't until he's with Emily that he realizes it's okay. Something she says is what wakes him up to like. I think it was her telling him that she loved them.
Maybe. This.
Yes, because they turn into a tomato and cucumber again. She realized the reason.
Well, they shared a moment first.
They do share a moment.
They shared a moment after the Archbishop.
She realized that was what it was. I was trying to say earlier that I spaced on. The witch told her the only reason they turn into it is because one or both of them is denying how they truly feel.
Yes. Yeah.
And so they are getting into an argument again when they're trying to decide where they're going to go. And they both turn into it again because of Robert, naturally, because it's Robert. And she sits them down and tells them straight up, like, I know this is crazy fast, which it's been a week. Slow your roll.
Yeah.
But she loves them and she knows they're destined to be together and she just feels it inside. And that's what wakes him up. Which I kind of feel bad for her, like in a weird way, because she walked into a very established relationship.
Yes.
She just was the catalyst that brought them together, which is kind of sad. Like, I'm glad they end up together, but that'd be hard because they have history.
Yeah.
And she's somebody new, and it's been a week.
But the universe wanted them to be together.
I know. The gods wanted them to be together. But yeah, then once she says that, it kind of kicks him into gear of like, oh, we all feel this way, which, duh. How did...
He's so dramatic.
He's probably the most dramatic main character I've ever read.
Yes.
And I've read a lot of books, and he is by far the most dramatic.
I'm trying to think of someone else I could like compare. Oh, have you watched Bridgerton?
Mm-mm.
Wow. Anthony for Bridgerton. That's who he reminds me of. Like, because there's a season of Bridgerton where the older brother, he's supposed to help his younger sister find love, and he ends up falling for the other sister, but he's like denying himself because he's like, I don't deserve.
And being dramatic.
And yeah, he's very dramatic because he's a free man, he's like sleep with prostitutes and going to bars, do whatever he wants. But it's very dramatic.
I don't think I could do the push and pull. I think I would just like, okay, never mind then.
Yeah, I would leave.
I don't have the energy for that. Maybe when I was younger, I definitely would have totally been like, please love me. But now it's like, oh my God, okay. One time was too many. Good luck. Just
find
leave.
yourself.
Yeah. You have fun with that. But then they end up, they realize they have their big moment. They all sleep together. I did not expect Laurent to be topping Robert at all. Because he's supposed to be the one that's, like, dominant. And that's how he is with Emily. And then he just, like, I mean, he's probably just a switch. But he totally switched and was just like, yes, please take me. Which is like, wait, what? I was not expecting that to have me have that win.
You kind of get a feel of it, though, whenever they're alone in the office after they get fired from being priests, because Laurent is talking dirty to him, and he says, like, take me, and then Robert.
Yeah, but Robert's, like, the one that, like, pushes him up against the wall.
True.
I think they just probably just switch. But,
yeah.
I don't know, I was really expecting him to, like dominate the entire experience for both of them. And he just kind of was like, okay, let's do whatever, I don't care. But I think the ending is really cute. They obviously leave the parish because, yeah, they can't be there anymore. And they get a little tiny farm in the same kind of area, I think. And the ending is perfect. They start a cucumber and tomato farm, which is so funny. But also, I'd never be able to look at those vegetables.
No, I would not. Like I said, I went to the store and bought these, and I was already kind of...
I would most definitely start any other kind of farm.
Yeah.
Besides those.
Pumpkin farm.
Yeah, but yeah.
Can grow
squash.
Grapes. Winery.
But yeah, I thought it was really cute in their ending. But yeah, it's just...
I know she had to wrap it up, but I was also kind of like, I wanted something, like, more. She is a fantastic writer because, yeah, she could have done a lot more of that. She could honestly keep going with that whole concept. 400, 500 pages easy.
But even, like, branch off from that. Find other groups that need this, sign from the universe. Yeah. Like, it was a cute story. As frustrating as Robert was.
It was definitely, compared to the last one I read last week, it had a different feel to it. Like, it had, like, more of, like, you're reading a love story. Yes. It was not,
also the page count makes a big difference, but it was not a weird smut. This was like there's some weird to it, but there's actually, like, a good love story in between it, which is fun. Yeah. I think I would have liked to hear more of Robert and Laurent's stories beforehand.
Yeah, like when they were in, like, monastery school and...
Monastery. That's the word I was looking for.
I think that's the word it was.
Because, like, they're just so cute. They remind me... Because it's funny, because they're, like, in their 30s.
Yeah. But
their whole relationship is very, like, 15-year-old finding yourself relationship. Like, your first true love. And which is funny, because they've both been with people before they joined the school. And, yeah, it's so cute. I hate how cute it is, because Robert makes me really frustrated. But they're very cute together.
Actually, I liked whenever, before Laurent and Emily slept together, Laurent was like, forgive me, it's been a long time. And she was like, it was just yesterday.
Yeah. But, and then Robert asking him, like, how did it feel? And he's like, it was like my entire body was my dick. Like,
oh, Lord.
I just feel bad for Robert because, like, I mean, he kind of deserved it, though, to be the tomato.
Oh, yeah, because he's the brooding grump.
We forgot the most important part.
What?
The second time that they are vegetables, they can move themselves enough to vibrate.
I forgot about that.
Which is...
So they think every time they turn into vegetables, they get, like, stronger.
Because he's, like, so excited and he's, like, pumped for it. He's trying to make himself move so that... It's just Laurent. Obviously going to be the one that's trying this, but he's, like, trying to get himself to move and he starts vibrating and she's like, like, looking at him. Oh my God.
It was, yeah.
I'm really surprised no one, since this book has come out, has made toys like that, because that's hilarious.
I think they have.
Probably. I mean, it's funny. But I can't get over the VeggieTales. Like, I loved VeggieTales growing up, and I don't want to say it ruined it. It almost is like it grew with me. This book made VeggieTales grow with me. Now it's adult.
It is. It's
a
nice little, callback to your childhood.
She also did the personalities pretty good. If you actually go back and watch Bob and Larry from VeggieTales, like, their personalities are very similar to the personalities that have been in the books.
I remember Larry was goofy, and the tomato Bob was more like the adult.
Like
right?
he's like more serious, and you know there's silly songs with Larry, and I do love when she asks him about the song he's making. He's like, yeah, I like making songs for kids, and she's like, are there even any kids here? And he's like, no, but maybe if we have a good tune, there will be.
Honestly, I didn't read any of like the reviews. I didn't read like the like preface to this book. Like at all,
I just knew it was about vegetables and immediately thought VeggieTales. And since then, I knew it was going to be VeggieTales themed. Which makes me concerned because, like, what other kids, like, are we going to have Blue's Clues next? That'd be terrifying.
The same author I discovered wrote a
Get in My Swamp?
movie.
Oh,
a B movie romance.
She also did a Shrek one.
Yeah, I saw
Get in My Swamp.
Yeah. Well, the bee movie one, apparently the bee turns into a giant bee. I was thinking maybe like a human, but he just turns into a giant bee.
I'm going to pass on that. I mean, I'll read it still, but bees are scary.
Her books are so enticing. I was looking through them and I was like, dang, I kind of want to read like all of these.
I really want to read the Swamp one.
Yeah.
Because you just know it's going to be good. It's crazy funny. Because they're dumb, but she's such a good author.
It is.
That it's... I mean, I didn't put it down. I read the whole thing in one sitting.
Yeah.
Like, it...
It was... I didn't want to... When I went to sleep at night, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to read the rest tomorrow.
Yeah. And they're not short. I think that one was, like, just shy of 300.
Yeah, it's like 250.
Like 280 or something.
280.
Yeah, I think it was something like almost 300 pages, which is a lot compared to the 80 pages of the Door romance.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah. It's definitely...
It was short, but not... It was longer than Unhinged.
Yeah, it was almost the perfect length for what needed to be said in the book. So she did a really good job. I don't know. I think it was fun.
It was good. I think it that one moment whenever they turn into the vegetables kind of brings you out of that reality of like being like real life kind of. But this was a book that like didn't have any weird reviews. Everyone was like, this was a great book. It was hot. It was kind of weird.
It reminds me, the stories are not even remotely similar. Just pointing that out. But the type of writing and stuff reminds me of Ice Planet Barbarians. Absolutely dumb concept. Such a good book. They're so funny. They're so ridiculous, but you just can't stop reading it. They're so fun to read. Yeah. And so I definitely, honestly, I'd recommend this book to people. Definitely. Just somebody who needs like a dumb, fun read. Like this will make you.
Well, it's like it's one that you read to yourself and you're like, this is a good book through and through. But if someone was like, hey, what's your book about? You'd be like,
priests.
Have you ever thought about two priests who are in love with each other, who turn into vegetables sometimes, who sleep with their cook, but they're sentient, but they can't move?
That's where you're just like, I'm just reading about Catholicism. They're like, really? With that title? Yes.
Forbidden Love.
It is Forbidden Love. It is a Forbidden Love book.
And
it's friends to lovers.
Well, enemies lovers too, because Robert fucking hates.
That's true. It is kind of enemies to lovers. It's all of them.
It's every trope you could think of.
It is all in the same people, which is really frustrating. But yeah, honestly, it was really good. I didn't really hate Robert until I started really thinking about how annoying he is. Yeah. Because I also feel bad for him. Because, like, I imagine if somebody had left any type of religion, I actually think they would really resonate with him. Because of that, like, trying to, find your footing.
He had that guilt.
I mean, so bad. Guilt. Yeah. Just so strong. He thought just pretty much, like, anything negative that was happening was because he was going against God. And
it was just his thoughts at first, too. Because he wasn't acting on them. And so when he was punished the first time, he was like, oh, it's because I was thinking that.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
I feel bad for him. He's just a really good hug.
Yeah.
Poor little guy. I don't know why I think he's little. I just feel like he's a little guy.
He's shorter than Laurent.
By like 2 inches, yeah.
True. Well, there you have it. That was Pounded by Produce. The storyline is... It does get a little confusing because it's just stuff's happening constantly. There's not really... You don't really get a breather.
I mean, it's every other page is something happening.
Crazy. Yeah.
Just brace yourself because it was like, what, 10 pages in was that first dream?
Yeah. It hits you fast.
Yeah, and you're just like, wait a second. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I think this as an audiobook would be hilarious, but not listening to it loudly.
No. No. I think that's probably why there's not an audiobook yet. And I thought about it because I was like driving one day and I was like, oh, I could just finish this audiobook. There's not an audiobook of it.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
She needs to get somebody to do the audio for that because that would be funny. Like 10 out of 10.
I was looking through to see if I could find any good reviews, but I have no reviews to end this with because everyone loved it. There's nothing
honestly,
weird.
it's
good.
It's a good book. It's silly. It would be a good palate cleanser.
Oh yeah, definitely. If you're a person that reads a lot of like series and you just need like something that short, sweet, to the point, if
you're in a slump, like a reading slump,
yes,
perfect book to get you out of a reading slump. It's fast, it's funny, it's wild. Yeah, this would definitely be a good like jumpstart reading. That isn't 4 books that are hundreds of pages long.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But this was this episode. If you guys have any unhinged books you found on Kindle Unlimited, please leave them in the comments below and we will surely check them out. Next week, we will have a new book for you. Please be sure to follow us on all our social media platforms. We have Spotify, YouTube, and then we also have our Instagram where we post almost every day about a few things, just discussions and stuff like that. But I hope you guys have a good week and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.